Alright, this is our second time at Celebration Key, and I'm just gonna say up front that this didn't go exactly how we expected. We didn't even get off the ship until about 2:45 in the afternoon, and we had to be back on the ship by 8. This was the ship's itinerary and not mine. So we were already working with a shorter day than we would like. Now the first thing, this is not like Ocean Cay. You don't just step off the ship and you're there. It's a bit of a walk. They do have trams running constantly, and honestly, depending on the heat and how you're feeling, this might be the move. Once you get in, everything kind of funnels into Paradise Plaza. This is the main hub. Big open space, music, energy, and right in the middle is a huge sun castle structure with the racing water slides. This is basically your center point. From here, you go left or right, depending on what kind of day you want. Right past the sandcastles, you are your typical beach shops. There's also Lokono Cove, which is your shopping area. Local vendors, handmade stuff, souvenirs. If you want something a little more authentic to take home, this is where you find it. On the other side, you've got Calypso Lagoon. This is where things lean a little bit more adult. Still not adults only, but definitely a different vibe. This is where you'll find the swim-up bar, the swings in the water, a little more music, and a little more energy. There are also volleyball and basketball courts. If you're not chasing splash pads and slides, this is probably your spot. Next is Surf and Sauce Barbecue and Brews. The first time we were here, we really enjoyed this place and the loaded fries were great. Bar-style food for a decent price. Food is spread out all across the island. You've got your included meal options, plus food trucks and other spots if you want to spend extra. Plenty of seating all over the property. Multiple bars are located all over the property, and they have plenty of patience for me and my camera. But here's where timing matters. Because we got here late, by around 4 p.m. things were already starting to shut down. Food options were running low, some areas were closing off, and it felt like we were catching the last couple of hours instead of the full day. On this day we chose Mingo's. It has a swim-up bar and is an open-air sand floor kind of joint. I'm assuming because of the time of the day, they were not fully staffed. The service was rather slow, and a lot of the items on the menu were no longer available. The view of the lagoon was awesome and readily available. As you can see, not many people here at all. We did enjoy our meal, although it was wrong and the server never came back to check. Now there are beaches here, but I'll be honest, most people end up back at the lagoon. The water's calm, easy, predictable. I thought the beaches looked great and were well maintained. The beaches are fine, just not really the main attraction here. If you head one way, you'll hit Starfish Lagoon. This is more of the family side. Shallow entry, splash areas, kid-friendly setup. If you've got kids, this is where you'll probably be starting your day. It's set up really well for that. I then headed on to the back side of the property. Tons of cabanas for rental and rows of seating. No lack of waterfront here. And just past Shoalmate's Island Bar, there are these really cool inflatable floating aqua cabanas. just before 7 p.m., I was approached by security advising me that this part of the resort was now closed. He instructed me to head back towards the ship to the front of the property. There I could find some other things to do. Another closed restaurant. Now I'll give you my 2 cents. And keep this in mind. There were already 2 ships here all day. One left as we were arriving, and the other left not long after. So by the time we got in, it felt like we had showed up for most of the day had already happened. Now they are expanding this place. They're building out another pier so they can handle up to 4 ships at once, which sounds great. But after this visit, let's make sure everything stays open first. Now I think that my biggest takeaway for us on this trip is coming here a second time, we can now see how this could be a really cool, great stop, if you get a full day. Now comparing Ocean Cay and Celebration Key, if you've been to Ocean Cay, that's more natural, slower, walk right off the ship. This is more structured, more built, we've designed this to work a certain way. Now my blunt truth, and honestly for this visit, we probably would have rather had a full sea day than a half day that felt rushed and incomplete. This does not mean Celebration Key is bad. It just means timing matters. If you get here early and have a full day, you'll probably enjoy it a lot more. If not, just know what kind of day you're walking into. Some stops are about exploring, some are about relaxing, and some you just take as they come. And that's my take.